I'm Nick Seco from HomeRight Windows and Doors, and we're located in Waynesboro, Pennsylvania. So we do vinyl replacement windows, we do steel and fiberglass entry doors, we do aluminum storm doors, and we do sliding patio doors, all made by Provia. The windows are a vinyl replacement window, and it could be anything from double hungs to casements to bay and bow windows and everything in between. So when somebody calls in the office and needs an estimate, they get Roxanne on the phone typically, and she would schedule an appointment for me to come out and take some measurements, provide some literature, go through what options we have, and then I would follow up within about 24 to 48 hours with an estimate with all the details of the products as well as the installed price. I find that we're typically much more affordable than the companies that you see advertising on TV or in a lot of other places. If they're spending a lot of advertising dollars, obviously they're passing those costs on to their consumers. You could go to our website at homerightwaynesboro.com, or you could call us at 717-749-4874.
Local and live, covering Franklin and Washington counties, it's Let's Talk TriState with Tiny and Katie.
Welcome back to Let's Talk TriState, all powered by HomeRight Windows and Doors, the right choice, winner of the 2024 Best of the TriState. It's been a while since we've talked to our next guest, TJ from Carrier Cross. You were the founder, and it's been a few months. So what I'm going to have you do, TJ, is just start by telling us about Carrier Cross and what is your mission.
Okay. So Carrier Cross is a company that I established that is focusing on promoting Christianity through physical activity. What we're focusing on is trying to take major biblical events and turning them into community competitions so that they can raise funds for the local churches, youth missions groups to use, as well as bring a unique look on major events that happened in the Bible and the timeline of Christianity throughout the years.
Can you give me an example?
So the first one that we're doing is a cross-carrying competition, and it's the Via Dolorosa, which stands for the Sorrowful Way, which is what they named the path that Jesus took from Jerusalem to Mount Calvary during his crucifixion.
Okay.
So our competition is actually going on this Saturday, and we start at 8, and we're going in at least until 1 o'clock. But the competitors that signed up will have to carry a replica of Jesus' cross, a total of 2,000 feet, which is what they estimated the total distance that Jesus carried his cross was. And they'll do this for time. That way they can work on trying to have some motivation to try to keep pushing through those hard times. Because this is not a very comfortable event. This is not an easy event. There's going to be times where they struggle and they have to figure out whether they're going to continue to push through or give up. And the reason that I want them to try to do whatever they can to push through it is because with Jesus, he didn't have that option. He had to do this. He had to continue to go down this path. All the competitors in this event will have the option to back out at any time that they want. But I want them to try to experience it to the fullest of what they can when they're competing. So that's where the time frame, there's a prize incentive, but the whole goal is to replicate that major sacrifice of Jesus as best as possible. Now legally, we're not allowed torturing them, we're not allowed scourging them, anything like that. So I wanted to try to figure out how to make it as difficult as possible, but still
And
be an
safe.
exactly.
Yeah, and have a good time.
And still be an enjoyable event.
Now, I do have some follow-up questions.
Yes.
How heavy is the cross?
So the total cross is roughly about 250 pounds.
And is this just, are you in a group or is this an individual event?
So this is just an individual event this year. I have plans for group events in the future, but for this year it's just an individual event. And the cross, if you're carrying it like Jesus did over the shoulder, it's going to be 160 pounds on top of your shoulder. So it's not the whole 200 pounds plus on you, but it is a pretty burdensome.
Substantial.
Yeah. And after making these and moving them around myself, there's times I get really tired and fatigued from this, just from creating them. So after people try to move it for 45 minutes, who knows what they're going to be feeling with that.
What is it made out of curiosity?
So I actually was able to get the lumber donated by two gentlemen up in the Shippensburg area, and it is made out of chestnut oak.
Okay.
So and
you did this?
Yes.
Yourself?
Yes.
How many are there?
So I have 3 made because we have about 15 competitors signed up this year. Mm-hmm. So we're just going to do 3 lanes, and then that way we could space it out throughout the day just to have more people come and watch.
If you are doing, so I'm trying to think, I'm going back to my elementary school brain here. 2,000 feet, is that about a half mile?
A little bit under.
Okay, because 5280
Yep.
is a mile, right?
Yep.
I remember the chant
Yep.
I used to teach my students.
Yep.
So if you are doing this, let's just call it half mile, and let's say you get a quarter of a mile in and you have to put it down. Can you pick it back up and go, or are you done then at that point?
No, so you have 45 minutes total to complete the event, and that's the only cutoff time. You can put it down. You can drag it however you want to do it. You can move it. The only speculation is you have to do it yourself.
You can't have somebody put it on your shoulder for you.
Only in the very beginning.
Okay.
Whenever you start the event, you can have somebody help you get it placed comfortably to start the event. But as soon as the time starts, then it's all up to you. You have to figure out how to put it down, put it back up, pick it back up. All on your own.
It's in the shape of a cross, I'm assuming.
Yes.
So it's not, once you put it down, it is not going to be easy to get it back up.
No.
You know, I'm trying to envision how it would look if you put it down trying to get it back up. It's probably extraordinarily difficult. Is this the first year you're having this event?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, so you're not quite sure what to expect if people will make it the whole way, or if they will probably have to take breaks throughout the process?
That's part of the excitement with this, because I have a couple different types of competitors. I have endurance athletes. I have some wrestlers that are signed up. I have some fitness personnel, just a couple different body styles as well. Taller, leaner, shorter, stockier. It's all going to be a really interesting outcome to see who does better, who has more, has better time doing it, because not only is it an endurance event, but it also does take some strength.
Absolutely. So this isn't for anybody. I mean, you have to have some kind of physics. Yes, absolutely. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
And you've done this before.
Yes.
Did you make it the whole 2,000 feet without having to stop and put it down?
No.
You did?
So I've done it twice to kind of get the cutoff time. The first time I miscalculated the distance based off of where I was doing it, so I actually went about 1,300 feet further, and it included some uphills and downhills, so it made it a lot harder, and that took me about 37 and a half minutes to do. But I was probably setting it down every 3 minutes so that I could catch my breath and then change sides.
Wow.
The second time I actually calculated the distance, I took all the hills out, so it was just a flat path, and I did it about 18 minutes.
That's incredible.
But I still had to rest, still had to put it down about every 3 minutes, because with the weight all on one side of me, it was compressing my rib cage on one side, so it was hard for me to get a full breath. And my endurance isn't the best. I'm not an endurance athlete, so that was where I struggled. The strength aspect was easy for me.
Yeah, you look like you lift, and you're pretty physically fit.
So somebody who has more endurance might not have to put it down as much, but if they struggle with the strength aspect of it, they might have a hard time getting it back up after they put it down.
Have you seen this event done before, or this is completely your thought process for this event?
So to my knowledge, I have not seen an actual cross-competition event go on. This is all something that kind of came from, it's going to sound weird, but it came from God. I was watching a YouTube video about some comedian that is a physically fit guy, and he put a total of 400 pounds on him, whether it was a weight vest, a sled, ankle weights, and kettlebells, and he walked a mile in it. And he was talking about how the struggle was mentally, physically, And when I was watching that, I kid you not, my initial thought was, what did Jesus feel like? Mm-hmm. And that's when I started just kind of looking into the background, the history of everything, the distance he traveled, the weight of the cross, and all that stuff. And that's kind of like I wanted to experience that a little bit myself. So I did some mock trials and stuff. And then the more that I did that, the more that I realized this isn't easy by any means. I'm like, I want to give them an opportunity for other people to experience that so that they can grow a better appreciation for his sacrifice.
Mm-hmm. When did you start this organization?
So the organization was founded in fall 2024.
So this is your first big event?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Tell me about if somebody is listening or watching and they're thinking, I feel like I could be a good competitor in this event. How would they register, get started? How much is it? Walk me through like the registration process.
So there's two ways that they can do it. We still are accepting registrations online, which can be found at the website, www.carry-your-cross.org, and they can register through that. Or if they want to come and watch, and then after they see the competitors, they can actually register day of.
Okay. So you can see, I'm sorry to interrupt you. So you can see it done first and then kind of decide, yes, I want to do it, or maybe, okay, I like that. That's a good idea.
And there's another option for that is if they want to register to compete for some of the prize money, they can pay the entry fee of $50. If they don't want to try to compete for the money and they just want to attempt it, they can register. They just sign a waiver and they'll be able to do carry the cross without any time or anything, just to see how well they do.
Interesting.
And that way, they can still get that experience if they want to, but if they don't want to necessarily try to push themselves too much, they don't have to worry about paying that entry fee. And
you said it starts at 8 o'clock. Where is the event being held?
So it is going to be held at Eccles Field, which is in Shippensburg. It is, I think, West 4th Street. It's right downtown Shippensburg. As you're going towards Shippensburg University, you go up 11, turn left on Earl Street, and as you're heading out, you'll see a pavilion with picnic tables, and then you see 2 rail cars that are part of the rail trail in Shippensburg, and that's the field that we're going to be doing it at. And
it starts from 8, it goes until 1. You have 3 different lanes going.
Yep.
And if somebody goes and there's time left over, are they allowed to try it again a second time, or is it one and done?
So it's one and done.
Okay.
I don't think they're going to want to try it second time.
I can imagine.
After doing it twice myself, I wouldn't want to do it again at the same day. But they're more than welcome to stay and cheer on friends and just kind of watch other competitors too. So
I hope it doesn't rain for you on Saturday. That would make it so much more difficult, I would imagine.
So I've actually done it once in the rain and once in dry, and the only issue that I had with the rain, of course, I wore gloves because I knew it was raining that day. The only issue that I had was whenever my clothing was soaked, it actually got a lot of significant brush burns through where the cross was rubbing against. Mm-hmm. But other than that, I mean, the rain didn't really affect it. The only issue that I would stop this event would be if there's lightning, obviously.
Yeah.
But rain or shine, we're going to keep going with that.
Would you encourage people to wear gloves to compete? Would you encourage them to do that?
So if they like wearing gloves, if they feel comfortable, it can help with the grip, especially if it is wet. Personally, I don't like wearing gloves. I just have a weird thing of having a layer between my hands and whatever I'm holding. But if somebody doesn't mind wearing gloves and it helps them, then by all means, then they can wear that.
Okay, that's not like considered an advantage or anything like that.
I don't really have any restrictions in terms of what competitors can wear this year, and that the hope is as we get more and more trials, we can kind of fine tune the rules for that, because this is the first year, so we're just trying to figure out
working out the kinks and everything. What's the prize money? You mentioned that earlier.
So first place for men and women, there's separate categories. So females will get the prize money regardless of their times compared to the men, and that way if they don't do go as fast as the men, they can still have the opportunity. But the first place is $500, second place is $250, and third place is $125.
Yeah, that's a fair amount of cash for sure. And how you may have said this. You said it's $50 if you want to actually compete. If you don't care about your time, what is the price for that?
Nothing.
So
you just sign a waiver. That way, if you happen to get hurt,
right,
it's not on us, but you still get the experience just to kind of feel the weight of the cross.
Now, the money that's raised, where does it go?
So it actually is going to get turned into grants for the local churches, youth missions groups to apply for. And depending on how much money we raise, determines how many grants we can get. And that way, when churches come and say, "Hey, I need some extra money for a trip to, say, Texas or something for our youth program," and they don't have enough time to fundraise that, and we have the funds, they can apply for that. And as long as it's for their youth program, we can grant them that money so that they can have that trip without having to worry about taking any personal finances out of the pastors, priests, stuff like that.
That's amazing. I went down to New Orleans not too long after Hurricane Katrina and got houses, and that's how we were able to afford the trip, was through different, like exactly what you were saying, able to get some kind of money to help us to fund the missions trip. So that's great what you guys are doing. It's the Carry the Cross event this Saturday. Say the location for me one more time.
Eccles Field at Shippensburg University.
And then one more time the website if somebody wanted to go and look up and register.
So www.carry-cross.org.
Okay. Well, TJ, thank you so much and good luck with your event.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, of course. It's Let's Talk Tri-State, all powered by Veritas Men's Health in Hagerstown. They have telehealth available, and you can find them online at veritasmenshealth.com.
Let's Talk Tri-State.
If you'd like to be featured on an upcoming episode of Let's Talk Tri-State, call 717-597-9200 or email letstalk@921thegoat.com.